The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
Welcome to the Bombadcast. What is going on, Bombad fam? Look, another live show. Super excited to be here. Hope you like the weird little intro thing we tested out with. Those were some old VHS clips. Yes, you know me. I'm pretty authentic when it comes to making this thing really feel like a aesthetic within itself. Now, with that being said, you are watching the Bombadcast on the Beyond the Blast Doors network. Let's get the little thing up here. Hold on. Where's it at? It's right above my shoulder. Hold on. Let's use the force. Bring it in there. There we go. So I'm super stoked to be here. We've got an amazing show planned. We've got a great guest. Gerry's also here. Kind of. Mentally, maybe not. But if you like this and you want to get more of it, Holo Chronicles, Monday, every show on this network has got a live format now. It's amazing. So Monday, Holo Chronicles. Tuesday, Around the Galaxy with Pete Fletcher. I guess has been on that show as well. Beyond the Blast Doors Live with me and David Amoletti and Arzu. We also got the Bombadcast on Thursdays and your wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fan interaction show, Force Connect, hosted by Pete Fletcher and Josh Mose. That is on Fridays. You can call in, you can tune in, you can have some fun. Now, everything else, articles and all the information is found beyondtheblastdoors.com. Okay. And if you really like this and you really enjoy this, Patreon's the way to support us. $5 a month will cover all 5 of these shows and, help save a content creator in need. If you also like this, at the Bombadcast is the Twitter handle. You can go follow us. You can go inquire about some wonderful Jar Jar information, as you can see below, the Jar Jar Generation. Now, I'm super excited here. Let's bring in my co-host, the one, the only, Gerry, the bad internet connection junkie cable. Gerry, what's going on, brother?
Hey, well, what's crazy about the internet stuff is I have been doing everything in my possible human will.
Wow.
To the will of the Force and everything
to make it work. Now you look good. It looks fine. No problems. No
Thank
problems
you.
yet.
Oh, I just freaked out because oh man, where'd you go? There you go. I just clicked on something and something went away. So I need a tech is what I need. I need like a roadie who comes with me to my house and stuff. Right. So I don't know, but I'm supposed to have really kick butt internet service now. And everything. I'm supposed to, I think I'm stopping. I haven't I took the cables out of Ryan Johnson's, internet box instead of his cable box in the back of his house. And I actually have my own now. So it should work better, but we still have, the Nihil are trying to attack me or something right here, to make a really obscure reference. So,
well, here's something I need to bring
everyone.
In, okay. Gerry, you and I have been so excited for this episode all week, only because we have a stellar guest. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
gosh. Kidding me?
She is a part of the Jar Jar Generation. So we're going to get her brought in right now. And the one thing I like about this guest, her name's Tori Fox. She's wonderful. But she and her social media presence, in particular Star Wars, is that weird, wacky niche that we love so much. So give me one moment. I'm going to bring in our wonderful.
Right in her wheelhouse.
Yes. Tori, how you doing? You doing okay?
Oh my gosh. Hi. Hello.
Tori.
Oh my God.
I was like, you're covered by the lower third.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
You're covered by the lower third. Mike Wazowski down there.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Let's get that thing out of there.
Oh my God, you guys are hilarious. Your intro is amazing. I couldn't stop
Thank you.
laughing and smiling. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Lovely being here. Thank you.
How are you?
This little,
you doing okay?
Super great. I've been excited about this too. You sent me over kind of the questions and all of that, and I think they're great. And I told you before this, like Jar Jar Generation, I've never heard it. I think that's the best. It's the best. That's like the best way to describe us.
Thank you. I know Gerry had written a song for today, but I don't know if he wanted to perform it now or later, dealing with the Jar Jar Generation.
Talking Jar Jar Generation. Yeah. You know.
Oh, okay.
It's my band. It's my band, the Husa.
The Husa are you?
Fun fact.
Yeah.
The band who wrote that song went on to become part of the Boomer generation. So there you go.
There you go.
Who talking about my generation? No, you're right.
Talking about my generation. They don't understand us.
They don't. Now we really don't. So
now we really
let me ask you this. Tori,
derailed.
You have a journey in Star Wars, okay? We all do. And I think our listeners would love to hear yours right now because it might be unique. I don't know. And you have got a very interesting hobby that most people don't really pursue professionally, but I think you do technically. I mean, I bought stuff, so you got money from me.
I do some stuff. Well, I mean, where do I begin? I guess like the starting question that everyone always kind of puts out there is like, when was the first time you saw Star Wars? And I don't actually have an answer for that question. My family was always big Star Wars fans, so I don't actually know the first time I watched Star Wars because it's always existed for me, I guess, in that way. And I've been really lucky with that, having that kind of like family encouragement in this direction. But so, I mean, I clearly love Star Wars. I would probably say Star Wars is the reason for like a lot of my really good friendships, a lot of my really cool like career moments. It's kind of shaped my life in a lot of ways. So because of my enthusiasm with, I really enjoyed the design and the creatures. That's kind of like what I really love so much about Star Wars. It kind of pushed me in the direction career-wise to pursue the arts. So I went to special effects makeup school because I really like the creatures, like I said. And after that, so I've done some special effects makeup and things like that on the side. And I also ended up kind of going into theme park design and making stuff for theme parks as well. Because I don't know, I just kind of ended up in that area.
That's great.
Like, that's a fun area to end up in, right?
Well, and I live in Orlando, so that's like a really very relevant thing, let's just say, around here. So so I really got super lucky and I got to do some stuff with that. And now I have my own shop, which is mainly Star Wars themed goods. Actually, it's pretty much all Star Wars themed good at this point. I had a job and it was not very safe because of COVID. So I made the decision to quit because I didn't feel very safe. I was kind of like, wow, now what am I going to do? So I already had an Etsy up. I made some Japor snippets for some of my friends for Star Wars Celebration Chicago last year. And they were so sweet. They loved them so much and they wore them all weekend. And they said, I keep getting questions about where to get this and I don't have an answer for them. So I made a little Etsy shop. And it just kind of sat there and I had a couple orders, but like, whatevs. But so kind of the past year has really kind of pushed me in the direction of pursuing having my own shop. And it's been awesome. It's been really
fun.
That is so awesome.
Bring it up. If you look at Creature Cartel on Etsy, that's your page. Okay. Sure. If you look at it, I'm going to be real honest with you. Something I really, really appreciate. Okay. Only because it doesn't get enough credit. And this is the reason why we had to have you on is because all this stuff is either prequels. Okay. It's all prequels related, or it's sequel trilogy, or it's Mando and Solo. Right. So that's why I had to bring it up. A lot of the stuff you do, it's not playing off of the OT, and we all love the original trilogy. Who doesn't? But
I didn't even notice that. But you're right.
Oh, I noticed that. Oh, yeah, the heartbeat.
I was like, make stuff, and I'm like, here it is. Hope you like it.
Yes. We're very thorough.
Right.
We're very thorough.
That's a really good point. You're right. You're super right. Wow.
That might play to this whole conversation. Okay, we all have a fascination with this stuff, and obviously you've found success in making this stuff. I mean, I bought a few things. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Tuesday, when I'm like, all right, she's in. We're gonna make this happen. I need to get
trying to make me look bad. Scotty's going and buying stuff on Tori's thing. Like, look,
right here.
I actually bought stuff.
Her calamari flan. See?
Woo!
I will have that.
I want some of those. I have been very like jealous of Pete's calamari flan, I'll say. So I've got to get some calamari flan, like soon. So
that is, I'm looking forward to.
That's it.
I'm looking forward to getting mine. And you know, the thing I think is really important about you having a shop like that is that it's all, I don't know, it's for the diehard fan, right? Squeeze me, the little button, and then you've got the I don't know, the Queen Amidala earrings. Like that is so subtle, and you would probably find that at a celebration. Now, who's to say you won't be walking around Galaxy's Edge one day and see someone wearing it? It would be amazing, right? So that's pretty exciting. I don't know. That's something very personal that I'm sure made some Christmas gifts this year as well. So I don't know. Let's kind of kick this off. Okay. Now you're the first one I'm going to ask. Okay. Cause this is something Gerry and I created. Tori, I have to know that phrase. Okay. I'm going to get it pulled up real quick. The Jar Jar Generation. What does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. On the spot. What does that mean to me? Okay. I mean, you know, you put it in the notes and I was thinking about it and I said to myself, that's so true. We are the Jar Jar generation. For me, anyways, when I look at that, again, I didn't really consider myself that because I didn't know that was a thing. But I would say in the past couple of years, I've come to realize that the prequel era has had like a massive effect on me, more so than maybe other parts of Star Wars, which is fine. I love them all, but and I would say that for me, when I think about something like what was really influential for me in that first movie and The Phantom Menace, it was Jar Jar. It really was. And I really do think, because for me, like the prequel era is kind of my just golden age of Star Wars design. Like that's my favorite. I love all of the building design and like specifically the creature design. I think Jar Jar is a masterpiece.
Oh, I agree.
That's where I'm at with that.
now, I think it's important to bring up, you know, Jar Jar, and I have it in the notes as well. Jar Jar was very, I think, a product of the era, being, you know, someone who's goofy. And I mean, The Phantom Menace is a really interesting movie, and not in a bad way. It's just got a lot of 90s aesthetic and humor. And I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you want to disclose your age. I was 6 when it came out. So I remember it vividly. 1999.
Math. I was 5.
Okay. So we're really close to Gerry. Gerry was, I think, 48. Was that all you were?
I was
young
again.
And spry. Love that.
Oh, young and spry. Look at me. Yeah, I'm just I'm a youthful spring.
Amazing. Wow.
Thank you. What can I say? Yeah, you too.
So,
No. I was George Lucas' sweet spot, 12 years old. Okay.
Good.
It sounds a little.
Yeah. You, Scotty, it's a bit. It's our bit. You stop making it weird because this has been one of our bits forever.
Wait a minute. So, Gerry, you might have more of a vivid memory of how the 90s felt and how the 90s looked and how the humor of the 90s was that way. I think Star Wars, weirdly enough, the design, the aesthetic of the Phantom Menace has always been really reflective of the time it was made. Most Star Wars really is. I mean, the 70s and 80s
absolutely
look the way they do. And the Phantom Menace is kind of shining and grand. I mean, this is pre 9/11, and I think it's important to bring that up. America felt really, really patriotic. We had a bunch of interesting things going on at the time. Besides Columbine, that was not interesting. But that's something that did happen a month before the film's release. Now, I didn't mean to bring it down, but just wanted to bring that up.
Well, welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. So,
Gerry, your take on that. You know, Star Wars, and in particular, the Phantom Menace had that aesthetic. What do you remember those early memories? Because you were born in 87, right?
Yeah. Just what do I remember about 1987? Like, what's your question? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Sorry, my question primarily dealt with the fact that this was the late 90s film. How was this?
Sorry. That and oh man, you know,
culture.
All you got to do is look at Star Wars: The Phantom Menace and The Matrix, and that was the 90s in a nutshell. There you go. It's just like people bending over backwards and people with floppy ears running around saying Husa Misa and all that kind of stuff. That was the 90s in a nutshell. You guys didn't miss much. In all seriousness though, there really was like a like the humor, especially. I mean, we did the humor of Star Wars episode, Scotty.
Years ago.
It was like one of our first episodes or something where we're talking about like people were talking about the Marvel humor in the new movies or something, and like when you look at people didn't like the humor in the prequels, they liked the one we like the original jokes and stuff, but I'm like, but that was like the originals had their type of humor, right? The prequels were very much in that America's Funniest Home Videos. We're going to fart in every movie because it's funny kind of a thing, you know, kicking the nuts. Jar Jar does get kicked in the non-existent nuts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know. It's to me, that's what I go to. I don't know so much about the, you know, I don't know. You know, like George was definitely, he had an idea of where he wanted to go and he didn't care what you thought. And I think he did get a little, you know, once the basement dwellers started to cry out in anger, I think he did start to get a little bitter. And, you know, we saw, I don't know, who knows what we would have gotten if they didn't get so angry. But I love what he was trying to go for, where it was almost a little more Flash Gordon, right? Yeah. It was a little more like
grand,
sleek. You know? Yeah, sleek and grand. And rewatching it recently, again, because I've been, you know, quarantined and all that. So, you know, make sure to sanitize your mics, kids. They have, what do you call it? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I've noticed the grit more in the prequels and stuff too. When you look, there is still grit on some of the stuff in the ships and all that, but it is a more like gilded era, almost like what we're getting with like
not as run down.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing you could bring up too, you know, the fact that Jar Jar is very reminiscent of a dinosaur, right? And I don't know if it was just the culture of the 90s, but we had Jurassic Park come through. We had a bunch of really big films and flicks that dealt with ancient times and dinosaurs and everything, you know, everything that revolves around, I guess, prehistoric storytelling. Now, I think the Jar Jar thing within itself is super important because Jar Jar is kind of reflected, and at least to me, Tori, in your Twitter presence, you know, you kind of have this, you're careful, you're like not careful is not careless either, but you're very much aware of what you do and how it plays to that aesthetic, at least to me, right? What do you think on that? Because that's a big part of your presence, really, truly.
Yeah. Are you talking? I'm so sorry. Was it the same question?
In a weird way,
like
a little bit of that, but also, you know, I can just from knowing you through that space, I know that's something that I can take away from, you know, pretty much everything you talk about, everything you bring up. It's got like sliced noodles today. That was hilarious. Okay, so that weird and wacky part of Star Wars is really important.
See, wait, it sounded like you said sliced noodles for a second. I was like, wait, what are we talking about? Sorry, my internet's coming in and out. So.
Yeah. Well, she's one of my favorites. So, but but I agree, and I mean, I super agree with the 90s deal, and I think dinosaurs are definitely kind of a present influence on a lot of the different creatures design that you do see, but I agree with the fun comedy, all about it.
Oh yeah.
It's very reminiscent of the era, and
I could agree also to the fact that, you know, there was so much George was trying to do, and you're right. We've got a weird renaissance of people like, oh, the prequels are great now, and I think it's mainly because this Jar Jar generation has, you know, grown up and kind of told their side of the story. And I can honestly say my dad still says because we had Ahmed Best do a cameo. A friend of mine sent us a cameo of Ahmed Best.
My boyfriend got one for me for my birthday. It's the
amazing.
Best thing ever. I watch it all the time.
Oh, it's in our outro of the show, and it's so awesome. And like, I don't know, my dad was like, "Oh, I hated Jar Jar, but I love that you got that," right? You know, and that's just some people's reception to it. I don't know if your parents ever watched Star Wars with you. Is there anything you can tell us about that? Did they like the prequels? Or
so from what I remember, just thinking back, I don't really feel like I feel like I was very sheltered from the prequel negativity until I got into
me too.
Like
that's called good parenting. That's called good parenting.
My parents love. I never heard them complain about anything with the prequels. Like, I think they loved all of it. I think the only complaint my dad probably had was killing Darth Maul, which, like, same. But you know, I think they more than redeemed themselves on that.
Oh yes.
on that end of
yeah.
the deal. But so yeah, I don't really think my parents, yeah, because like the whole Jar Jar hate thing was wild to me because again, like I had never really experienced that until I got into high school. And then kind of when I was out of high school and I was kind of like really kind of like finding myself, I guess, like nerd wise, if that makes sense. So I had actually kind of like
totally
started doing like more nerdy, like going to conventions, things like that. And that's what I came across, people that were like, I hate Jar Jar. And I was like, what? Like, what's
how?
why are you
He said one movie. Why do you hate it?
Why do you even have to say that?
There was one person I came across that had it on there, they had a tattoo, and this is awful. Like I was like, I'm concerned. It was a Jar Jar's head on a spike.
Tattoo.
Oh,
Made me so upset.
that's
No way.
But my parents were
I
great.
threw
and
up in
like
my
I
mouth
said,
a little bit. Oh my gosh.
So sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry to bring everyone
you're
down.
good.
I just like I don't know why I threw that out there. It's very depressing.
Scotty brought up Columbine a minute ago, so I think you're good.
Time that I was like, oh wow, people are like really passionate about this hatred. Like that's pretty wild. But yeah, I'm really lucky. My parents were like super into all the Star Wars stuff. I think having them there and being supportive during that time was really special. And I think maybe another reason why I gravitate towards prequels is because like that was the first set of movies that I was like alive to experience like in real time, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I saw it in the theaters and I was like 5, like I said. My mom did not know that my dad took me. My dad said,
That's amazing.
Movies don't tell your mom. My mom actually didn't want me to go because she thought I was going to be scared of Darth Maul. And joke's on you, Mom. He's one of my favorites. So
yes,
that sounds like my way of parenting, honestly.
But
like,
so yes, my dad took me, and she was like, "Okay, she made it through. Cool. Like, guess we'll do the next couple ones too." So
hey, that's awesome.
That's so awesome.
That is great.
That is
like I can pull it up right here. Hold on. It's just something about this movie, right? And I remember vividly the pod race scene and the opening crawl. And there's something so special about watching that movie. And
really is.
I often fall back the most on this one. I just don't know why, but I have it on the most, you know?
I agree.
And we're a generation that grew up with it, right? And I feel
it's the
like
best of the prequels. It's the best, in my opinion.
I agree.
Honestly.
Oh my god. I feel like
I told you, Tori.
They're all fine. I feel like everyone says Revenge of the Sith, and I'm like, yeah.
That's my thing too. I was like, Revenge of the Sith is great.
I gotta
Phantom Menace feels so classic Star Wars, man.
My brain's on this.
Classic.
Tori, this is one of these questions, and I forgot to put in the notes, but I think you can give me an answer on the spot. We do a thing on the show with our new guests. We do best, favorite, and most fun. Because Star Wars, you can't throw it all into one category, right? So, Gerry,
okay.
Do you want to do yours maybe to get her thinking? Because I can do mine real quick.
Go for it. Do yours real quick. Go for it. You know what? Okay, best,
the one I probably will watch, you know, to like get a emotional reaction out of, to like feel like moved by, probably The Last Jedi. That's always been the one now that kind of like hits hard. If I can include The Mandalorian, I would say The Mandalorian, but that's too many things. To me, the best favorite right now is, of course, The Phantom Menace. The posters over there. And I think most fun is still The Phantom Menace to me. So you can put as many as you want.
One in 2 boxes then?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're very loose. We're very loose around here.
Well, some of them I think do fit in more than one category. So
some of them, that's the thing. We came up with this. Your best, favorite, most fun. It's just piece of Star Wars material. Mm-hmm. And if it's one thing for all three, good on you, man. That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, but were you saying you want mine, Scotty?
Yeah, Jay, let's hear yours real quick.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Here we go.
You don't have to give a speech.
No, I won't give a speech. I will not thank the Academy today. If I had to say best right now for me, gosh, I just finished watching Rogue One today, actually. I'm on my canon rewatch. I don't know if I want to say that, though. But it definitely, I love that more the more I watch it. Best probably still is Last Jedi to me.
Sure.
I think favorite right now, oh man. Gosh, favorite right now has to be Rebels.
Oh.
Oh.
Did I pause again?
Yeah, you did, but it's okay. We can hear you. Good curveball. He froze.
Now I'm trying
Finished
to think
Rebels.
about,
So
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, hold on.
a little bit.
yes. Oh.
I
I
love
froze again. Oh.
Oh, this is great.
You get me
Or,
back.
Jerry, I think we
I
might.
think Ryan is coming and trying to steal my internet.
No, it could be the case. Look, I'm going to boot you real quick, Jerry. Tori, if you want to take the floor real quick, just so he can get his internet back up. What we got for you, sister?
Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Pause just a moment. I just need to think for 2 seconds.
Sure. No, get it in there because.
Okay. I got it.
Okay,
No, I got
all right,
it.
here we go.
We're good. Okay. So best and favorite are the same thing. Rogue One. And then
hey.
most fun is the Phantom Menace.
See, why for
That's
you
for
though? Because I think it's different reasons for everyone. Why for you?
Rogue One's just my favorite ever.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
and I do think it's some of the best. I would
Okay.
also agree with the Last Jedi though. I think that's pretty great.
Mhm.
I'm always constantly like in awe of just how incredible the story for Rogue One is and how amazing all the characters are when you have literally nothing to go off of when you first start it. Like just it accomplishes so much in such a short period of time. And
It really does.
Beautiful, and to me it reads more like a war movie, I guess, than anything else that's come out. You know, I think it's interesting and it kind of
I didn't
back, hello?
I'm back. Sorry, I didn't expect to pop right up by Tori there. Oh no.
But I just think it's really special piece of media. So
Now, with the Phantom Menace, Tori, why in particular is it the most fun for you? I can tell you my reason, but I want to hear yours.
I think it's probably some of the funniest for me.
Nice.
I also find all that just visually it's very fun. Like it's just I think now that I'm older, when I rewatch it, I think a really big thing for me is kind of like the design of it, and it's just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different great locales and different like scenery, and I really really enjoy. I probably tell like I'm a Padme fan. Like all of her outfits are just the best.
Oh, they're beautiful. And
so I think it's largely aesthetics for me, but it's bright and colorful and vibrant, and like you were kind of saying before, you're kind of seeing a bit of a sleeker side to things from the original trilogy. It's just, I guess, really what it is. It's such a breath of fresh air.
it really is. And it ends really kind of nice. But I think it's so rich in story that most people don't give it enough credit for. And I don't think people realized when it was releasing how rich it was in story. Everything from Palpatine slowly weaving his way into the whole, fabric of all of Star Wars. And then we've got, how great the pod race scene is compared to everything else in Star Wars. There's nothing like it, really. I mean, I literally, I kid you not, it was 2020, funny enough's New Year. I'm going to say it here. I usually don't say this story. I got trashed. Okay, so, and we had a bunch of friends over, and I was sitting in this room, and I was like, put on the pod race scene, and I just had it on there.
Yeah.
We had a surround sound as loud as it could, louder than the fireworks outside, and it was just magical. And I just remember just slamming the speaker, saying, it's the best scene in the whole series, because it just is. There's something so cool about that movie. From the music to the movement of it, the pacing's great. I mean, I understand people not liking it, but what I really don't understand is the animosity towards it. And that's, though, I think that's what makes the Jar Jar generation so different. I mean, we don't have this, at least the people I associate myself with don't have this like vitriolic hate for Star Wars or things in Star Wars. We kind of embrace every little bit of it, right?
Yeah,
and
I'd agree with that. I feel like, I mean, again, like you said, from the people that you interact with, I think I've been lucky to kind of like cultivate a nice group of people around me.
Me too.
But I would agree that like us who have kind of survived the prequel hate and all of that are a little bit more understanding when it comes to other things, because we're like, hey, the prequel's for us and for our generation, and we love the heck out of it.
Yes.
So the next set of movies, if we're not very excited about it, we're not gonna we're not gonna be like violently angry about it.
No, and that's an important thing to bring up too. We've got kids, and I'm a middle school teacher. I got a bunch of kids in probably the chat right now trying to message me on here like they always do. And the reason I say that is because they're growing up and they're like 12 and 13, and they're growing up with a sequel trilogy, right? And we as adults now in this weird realm, we see it all the time. People like grown men and women just bashing the movie for no reason, right? And it's just it's I would say not upsetting, but I see it now. I'm like, this makes sense, right? So the next group that grows up is gonna be the Ray generation or the BB-8 generation or something. We'll talk about them in 10 years. But the reason I say that is because
generation.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So now we have to patent that one as well. And now you'll be on that episode. We'll be much older. But the thing, with that being said, you get to see this now in a new light. We're the first kids to grow up with this stuff. And a lot of my kids I teach, they love the Phantom Menace. So I don't understand the hate. And growing up with that was, like you said, I didn't realize it was till pretty much the very end of high school. Kind of heard stuff around.
You're like, wow, this is.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. I think I saw on Twitter, you had gone to a bunch of Star Wars weekends, right? Am I correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because you live in Orlando. Okay. That makes sense. Now, being from that area and going to these things, you probably met a good bit of the actors and actresses there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we would do that pretty often.
Who were they, if you don't mind me asking? Because that would be any prequel people.
Oh, okay. Any prequel people? So off the top of my head, I met a lot of Clone Wars, prequel era, a lot of Clone Wars people, like Ashley Eckstein and
my heart.
James Arnold Taylor.
Oh, cool.
The first person I ever met actually was, and I remember it clear as day. It's wild. I don't know why I do. I was very, very young. We had been going for a couple of years, and then finally my mom was kind of like, you know what? Maybe we will try to get an autograph. Like, why not? Like, we kind of always looked at it and we're like, that's probably like really hard to do. That's probably like a really big to do. It's going to take up the whole day or whatever. But it was Silas Carson, who was Newt Gunray.
Oh,
and he
wow.
was, oh God, who else was he? Oh, I think he was Ki-Adi-Mundi. Yeah. Yes. And he is so nice. And he was sitting there at his little autograph thing, and there was no one there. And so my mom just kind of walked up to the person that was with him, that was kind of like his handler or whatever, and was like, hey, like, I just kind of wanted to know, like, how does this work? Like, we've never really done this before. Like, I'm interested. What's the deal? And so typically you would get like a ticket in the morning, and then it would give you like a number or a time or whatever. But since he didn't have anybody there, she was like, hey, go right ahead. Like, go ahead and meet him if you want. And so I still have the autograph. Yeah. So I'd say that's probably one of the most memorable. But I did meet I think her first name is Michelle. I can't remember her last name. She was R. Singh. I met her. I also met Amy Allen, who's Ayla Secura. I've also met Matthew Wood, who is General Grievous, but also, does a bunch of other things. And it was really cool to meet him because this was like movies are still coming out. We met him. I still have the figure. He signed a General Grievous figure for me, and it says, "You are a bold one," on it. And I think it has the date too. I think it's like over 10, 15 years old at this point. It's pretty wild. But he so awesome. He read it out loud to me in the voice, and like obviously you can't do it 100% because obviously there's like some technology to it or whatever. But the woman he was with that was there, she was like, wow, you're getting like better and better at that without like the extra stuff. Like he sounded amazing without the other stuff. But yeah, so that's off the top of my head. Who I've met a lot of really cool like original too, that I think those would probably be some of my like highlights. Were a lot of like original trilogy people, but yeah, I didn't realize how many I actually met. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, wow, yeah, that's a lot.
That's an impressive list
too. I don't even know. I could be.
I never went to Star Wars weekends, but I do have a signed photo to my left. I don't want to take it down because it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. I didn't know if you happened to be there. It was May/June of 2006. Don't know if you were old enough. Okay.
We went every year.
my boy Rick McCallum was there, right?
I don't think
yeah.
I met him.
Oh,
No.
I would be crying right now.
I went the year before that, Scotty, to Star Wars
did
weekends. You? I did. I went to Star Wars weekends when dating myself here. Graduated high school.
Nice.
In 2005. Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. Oh yeah.
How was it? How was your Star Wars? Because I've never been.
It was great. I got a lot of autographs of people who were dressed as characters. Those are the autographs I got.
The best though.
They were pretty great. It was like at the time I had never been to a celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Disney always does so good with their like characters and stuff.
They do, and their like list of people to meet at Star Wars weekends was so impressive, and I loved it so much because it was people that you wouldn't maybe expect to meet because they're not like the like top build cast or whatever, you know.
Exactly.
So, like, not A-list security. Our Sings walking around like that was my favorite. Gamorrean guards, like
yes.
Oh yeah.
So good. So good.
I got a picture with a bargain bin Samuel Jackson, and it was great. They're all great. I mean, I don't know, like who was it? They had a Kit Fisto the year I went.
Yeah, Kit Fisto's great. Actually, one of my favorite pictures ever of me and my
fantastic.
mom is me, her, and Kit Fisto.
No, that's so sick.
Pretty great.
That's awesome.
So sick. Oh man.
You know, and Tori was saying before, we were talking about all of our posters before we started recording, how we all have the same Mando poster. So Gerry, do you have? Yeah, you have yours down there. Okay.
That's so funny too.
The reason
it's behind.
It's honestly, wait, hold on. You're going to love this. Looks like we're all in the same room. It just kind of,
yeah.
You guys are over there.
Yeah. Tori's
just a
guys. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm just getting over the Rona.
You know, if for anyone that hasn't been, and I don't mean to just boast about it, and I know a lot of people in the chat, I know Pete hasn't been, some people hanging out with
man.
Not been. If we can just give our testimony a celebration, because I didn't know you, Tori, then, and now I know you, and that's what makes this so much fun, is because now we know each other. Now we're going to see each other. We're like,
we're going to all be, dude,
we know you.
2022 celebration, like 2022 Anaheim is going to be like the Great Gatsby meets Star Wars celebration. I mean, we're going to be like, we're going to all be like dancing with champagne glasses around. I'm telling you.
I think they had one like a year ago or something. Not a year ago. One of these previous ones, they had like a Canto Bite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they did. It was across town. I couldn't make it. I walked everywhere at the time. So yes, very sad.
So celebration. Do you have a testimony of it, Tori? Because you've been to how many?
Three.
Oh, okay.
That's so awesome.
Four. Ooh, girl. Okay.
I actually don't know now. Hold on. Sorry.
I want to bring this up.
If you've lost count, I think it's safe to say you've been to more than a few of us. I'm just saying.
I want to bring this up because it's interesting.
That's okay.
In the area of Florida, I'd imagine, a lot of cons come around there, a lot of really good cons.
Yeah.
Did your Star Wars love ever die? I didn't mean to change the subject, but I talked to Brandon Winerdy from Talking by 94. When we had him on, I asked him this because he's one of the few people I know who after 2005, it kept going strong, right? For me, I was, third or fourth grade. So it kind of faded off when, James Bond, all these other things came back into it. For you, did it ever go away? Did you have the dark
age? Good question. So I kind of made it go away. So I was in middle school and my bedroom was just Star Wars, okay? And I had a friend, air quotes for this friend, who came over for my birthday party and was like, my dad says Star Wars is dumb and blah, blah. And that was the first time that I'd ever experienced that kind of oh, you're a nerd style of bullying. And so I kind of slowly just kind of put everything away in a box in my closet. And I did not, we still went to Star Wars weekends. We still did some things, but I actually, was in high school, and I remember so one of the big reasons why I've been so many times to Celebration is because it has come to Orlando a lot, and I'm very lucky that I live in Orlando.
Yeah.
So I've gone every single time it's been here. And then my first away was Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. But so we went, I remember going, I think it was my freshman year, I went to Celebration when it was here in Orlando. And I remember not being like upset about it, but being kind of like whatever about it and being like, oh, okay, I guess we'll go. And I had a really good time, but I still kind of just like kept it under wraps about my fandom.
Sure.
But I met my best friend Brandy that year, and we were sitting at the lunch table one day at school, and I made some like, ha ha ha, I have like a whole box of Star Wars stuff in my closet. Lol, like joke. And she was like, what? Like, me too. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, why are we hiding? And so then from then on, it was like, whatever.
Oh, that's so sick.
Now wait. Tori, I gotta bring it up because this was a really pivotal moment in my fandom, and I'd imagine it was for you too. Okay, so you said you were in high school. I was in high school whenever this news was dropped. It was October 30th, 2012. It is when they announced Star Wars was coming back. You and Brandy, when y'all were hanging out, did you discuss that? Was that something that was brought up?
Yes, but so we kind of started being nerds again or whatever.
Yes.
Before that, it was like 1 or 2 years before that. So it's like, what a great time to like, who even knew, who could have even predicted that a couple of years later we'd be, I mean, we were freaking out. I remember I was with, I don't think I was with my friend Brandy. I think I was with my friend Skylar though. That became part of our friend group, and it was just the three of us. It was me, Skylar, and Brandy. That was high school. And
nice.
We were doing Black Friday shopping. My mom and like my aunt, we would go, and
Love
it was
Black Friday
literally
shopping. Sorry,
we weren't those people that were like, I'm gonna like knife you for a waffle maker or something. Like, we're not those people. It was literally just to go and like kind of have fun. So we would have dinner and then at a reasonable time go and just check out the stores around us, and then we would go to the mall and sleep in the parking lot till they open, and then we'd do whatever, and then we'd go home. And we were on the way home, and I was like, pull the car over, and we pulled the car over on the side of the road, and we watched the first trailer for The Force Awakens.
Oh,
so
man.
I'll never forget that. But yeah,
that is so
was,
awesome.
like, what a time to like have kind of refound myself in terms of Star Wars, like just maybe a year or two prior, and like now here we are. And like it's happening, And I remember being bummed though, because right before Disney, like the Disney acquisition happened, they were like, we're going to release a Star Wars movie in the theater in 3D every single year. And so Brandy and I went to see The Phantom Menace.
Me
and it was
too.
an amazing time. And then they never did it again because everything changed. But I guess I would trade it for that.
There's very few of us, Tori. I can tell you, I know who's been. Me, you, Brennan, were nerdy. Jerry, did you also go?
Dude, yes. That was like my ex-wife's and my I's first date. Or not first date, but like it's the first time she saw a Star Wars movie in a theater. And I mean, I was
went downhill from there.
Yeah. But it's okay because we got to watch the pod race scene like it was coming at your face. It was the best. That's the best. Huh.
So that's cool because
love that.
I was looking forward to Attack of the Clones in 3D and Revenge of the Sith in 3D, and then I'm pretty sure George guaranteed we get 6, and then we get 4, 5, and 6 in 3D. So
they've only shown they've shown Attack of the Clones
6 years on that.
If they next year we'll show all of them in 3D, because they show what they have like Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, right? Like they showed those at Celebration a couple years back, didn't they? Like after the Disney thing.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the celebrations. They did show footage of it.
Scotty, I'm looking at it right now. Phantom Menace 3D R2D2 cooler. My cooler, it's from the Phantom Menace 3D. It's like the gas station rolly cooler that's R2D2 and stuff,
See,
sorry, I just had to share that because I just love that so much.
This is honestly, and I'm not trying to plug the title of the episode. This is literally the Jar Jar generation, right? I mean, and like Tori said, she came out of that fandom for a little while, but then she fell right back into it. And I think all of us did. I think something about that, we all grew up with it and we all kind of grew out of it, maybe if it was for a moment. But when we fell back into it, it was such a tremendous experience. I mean, like something had awoken on literally the Force Awakens awoken all of it. Like that first trailer, I'll never forget. And I was like my first year of college, and I just didn't expect to have such an emotional reaction with the, there's been an awakening. Have you felt it? Then that was just, I can still remember where I was when I watched it. It was just such an amazing moment. It felt back. I don't know. I love it. I love it so much. It was really beautiful. But the reason I bring this up is, I think it's important to honestly discuss how much impact the prequels had on us personally. But Clone Wars, right? Tori, did you watch Clone Wars when it was releasing? I know Gerry did, but did you happen to be lucky with that one? That was 2008.
So I did a little bit because I was going to Star Wars weekends. Obviously, there was they really leaned hardcore into Clone Wars. There, they had
priorities.
They had Ventress, they had clone troopers you can meet. Like it was very cool. So I did watch some of it, but I wasn't super invested in watching every single episode whenever they released and all of that. That didn't really come till probably a little bit later when I was probably out of high school, actually. But what I will say is I loved the heck out of the original Clone Wars cartoon that was the 2D. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Just had to throw that in there because that's a masterpiece.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I was aware of the characters. I was I would watch it if it was on TV, but I wasn't writing down, making sure I had every single episode watched kind of scenario.
Yeah. Well,
dude, I remember my what was it? Right after Revenge of the Sith, remember I was graduating high school when Revenge of the Sith came out, and I started working at a movie theater that summer, and all we could talk about was they're going to start doing all these cartoons. They're going to do a live action series. Back then, they were going to have that Star Wars Underworld was big and stuff. We were excited about that. Talking about a little bit of was it Saw Gerrera, right? Was going to be the main character on that. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, oh, but there's also this Clone Wars thing. And I worked at the theater when the movie came out in 2008. And we were slightly disappointed, but at the same time, I still loved little pieces of it and stuff. And you go back and I seriously, every time one of those DVDs came out, me and my friends in college, we would go buy it and binge the whole thing, right? That's just, I don't know. So that's just, it's such a crazy time. But I remember my there was a weird, there was a Rebels, Proto-Rebels that never came out back in the day. There was an animatic. I don't know if someone just made it online and passed it off, and my assistant manager showed it to me. Mm-hmm. But he showed it to me, and it was like Rebels, but animation and stuff. It was the Rebellion and all that before Clone Wars came out.
Interesting.
So, I've never seen that clip ever again. If any of you guys out there find it, I guess you can put it in there. But there's my 2 cents, as I guess Scotty likes to make me sound like I'm 50 years old. So, but anyway.
Well, when you look 50, you gotta kind of. So and you're separated. I mean, from your that's a whole thing.
Nifty 50.
Nifty 50. Speaking of Nifty 50, okay. So we with the Force Awakens coming out. I mean, Jar Jar. We're gonna go back to our buddy. He kind of got some bashful press again. Remember the infamous comment, "Well, we're gonna put Jar Jar's head on a stake," in the Jakku desert.
They were gonna put his bones in the desert and shit.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. The steak came from
JJ.
Tori. Oh, I just remember that. The tattoo steak came from Tori. But yeah, Jar Jar.
Oh, blame it on our guest. Way to go, Scotty. Way to go.
so we were going to have Jar Jar's bones in the desert. And I know JJ joked about that. But
I remember seeing that.
I think it's cool to address it. That viewpoint is almost turned around. I mean, look at the Black Series figure that people are getting on their doorstep today.
I'm so excited. Mine's on the way.
Exactly. Gerry, get yours real quick. I know Gerry posed his up.
I'll say I've got Cad Bane handing him the boobah and stuff there. Here we go.
Look at those. Look at those arms.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. Look, he's got some guns,
ripped.
man. I was watching your interview with Pete today in preparation for this, by the way, Tori. So, but you were talking about his the texture on his arms, You can't see
I
it on here
love
because it will not.
I love these little
It
skin
will
textures.
not.
Great.
Here, let's see if I can pull a Josh most. It's not working, but you got like his little like. Oh, dude, it is beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that figure's great. And I've got this one over here. This one, like, I this is the original, obviously. But when you look at it, like, I don't know, there's something to this character that most people don't really discuss. I mean, he's such an iconic design, number one, but also he did a lot for filmmaking in general. He's the first digital character.
Yeah. Major technological advancement.
Yeah, I mean, literally,
he came before Gollum.
Exactly. So, he was the first. And
you're welcome, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, you're welcome, Andy Serkis. I'm glad you could get a job because of Jar Jar Binks. But like, I don't know. I've grown to have such a love with him, and I mean, obviously, you all know the middle of our logo is our boy Jar Jar right here. So it's love beautiful. Him. And when Gerry and I were talking about what Star Wars meant to us, we always knew that. That there you go. Exactly. You've got.
I love that pin. I love the hat.
My favorite. Oh, yeah. Thank you. It's my favorite.
It's the best. And Ahmed Best really did get the shaft for some reason, and his character took a back burner as well. In the whole trilogy. And I think it's sad to have that realization because I feel like there could have been a lot more with Jar Jar. And I'm sure there was some crazy side quests that he was supposed to go on too, but. I don't know.
We got a little bit in Clone Wars, right? Like he got a little bit of some redemption and stuff. Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Well, I was just saying, like, I love that he got like, yes, other people were annoyed with him, like in canon, but you also had it was almost a little bit of like George Lucas going, let's just put him in another one because I like him. Okay, let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the best one is what the Bardata arc or whatever, where he and Mace Windu go and they fight against Mother Talzin. It's like that, it's Indiana Jones. It's literally Indiana Jones, and I love it so much. Like it's just, and that Jar Jar has a love interest.
I know. She's
it was so good. People don't like Jar Jar because he is he's the Star Wars character most of us are like, honestly. And sometimes you don't want to look in the mirror.
I agree with
that. We're also not as pure as Jar Jar. So
No, we're not. And that's what some people can learn. I think that's what we grew up with.
I'm glad my internet is holding up for these facts I'm dropping right now.
So we've got some great stuff in the chat. Apprentice walks
Bring it on.
He's a Gungan. I mean, heck yeah, he's got the black bird.
Welcome to the Gungan show. Yeah.
I've got an incredible. We have a Tori. I don't know if you know this in Louisiana. That's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We've got my neighbor here is Paul Stanley of Kiss, the singer of Kiss. On the show he is, and Paul Stanley. I don't know why
don't break the illusion, Scott. Don't break the illusion. No.
He said, "I love the prequels. Stay bombad, people."
Is that Paul Stanley's Soul Station? Is that his YouTube channel?
That's his YouTube.
What does he talk about? Like, what's his favorite? He talks about what his favorite Frosty is, or something.
Oh my god! I cannot believe I can't believe Paul's actually watching right now. This is the most
Paul. Thank you. It's an honor, sir. It's an honor. We love you.
Whoever made this is insane. Oh my god. Okay, so that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Scotty is just we've lost Scotty.
I'm done now because I want to know who created this. Is so amazing.
You know who that is.
It's Paul.
It's Paul.
Oh, yeah, it's Paul. Hello.
It's Paul Stanley. He's getting ready for his
Paul,
next Folgers commercial, I hear.
Yes. So. The last time I spoke to Paul, he was telling me how much he loves the weird stuff in Star Wars. And then he just kept saying, I don't know, I didn't understand it. He was like, I was a little kid when Kirk and Aurora kissed. And I'm like, not the same thing.
Not Aurora. Does he mean Uhura?
Uhura, yeah. I don't know. That was my mistake. But Paul was like, it was the first interracial kiss on television. And so we named the band Kiss. And I was like, oh. I said, oh, okay. That's
where it comes from. Nice. Yeah, nice, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
And now he's on my chat saying how much he loves the prequels. He actually left a voicemail, Tori, and he said he was referring to his favorite moment in Star Wars, and he was saying his favorite moment is whenever there was the speeder chase on Coruscant, and there's something good about that scene too. But the way Paul says it is fantastic. So speaking of Paul and speaking of all the
are you gonna say what it is? I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
I think he said he was flying around Coruscant in his speeder, and everyone to the left. Okay, so backing it up, that threw me off so bad. I don't know who did that, but I am unaware right now. Sorry, Tori. That was
Paul.
insane. So okay.
Paul.
So it is Paul. I know it's Paul, but it's still crazy.
He's trying to tell us what the best part of waking up is. And it's Paul in your cup. I don't know what that means. Let's move on.
If for anyone that doesn't know, there is a guitar solo in that song that John Williams composed. And the guitar's
in the speeder chase?
Yes. This is so insane. Okay, wait, sorry. So Bombadcast gets really weird. But Star Wars also gets really weird. Okay. What is it about us in this generation, or maybe just the people in this messaging and the Facebook and the YouTubes and this whole podcast right now?
Sorry.
What is
it reminding me of Jerry Lee Lewis right now?
Why do we love the weirdness in Star Wars? I'm serious. Why is that something we all are so attracted to? Gerry, let's hear your reasoning, because you're the biggest fan of, and you can get him out right now. I know you're gonna whip out your jowl and show us your yowza.
Oh shit! No, we gotta say it like that. Don't lie. I was totally thinking about it. Like when you started saying, "What do I love about the weird?" I was like, "How can I use Joe Yowza?" I have him right here. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at that. Look at the character work on this guy though. Look at those abs, man. I mean, I wish I had at least half of those.
And his people are native to Endor, if I'm not mistaken. So that's an important thing to bring up. I
mean,
why.
Possibly it was like an unused concept, right? Or something. Yeah, like they were going to have him in there. He's going to be more stick figure-y.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
And I love that George and them go in there. It's like, let's see what leftovers we have that we can make some awesome culinary treat with, you know? I love this guy. Okay, I don't have the abs of this guy, but I definitely have the body shape of this guy. So that's why I love him so much. Bent legs and all. No, dude.
Why is the weird thing that attracts us?
The weirdness is just, it's interesting. It's more interesting than boring stuff, right? Like, that's why I love the Jedi Rocks crew and stuff. I love all of this stuff. I love that he has 2 uvulas and you look down his throat. I love that George Lucas is so weird and yet a genius that he's like, I just want to throw all this stuff in here because it's just, it's fun. It's like, that's part of Star Wars is Han Solo talking to a giant slug like he's just like he's not even bothered that this person's like when he's talking to people don't like Lady Proxima, but you've got him sitting there like talking to this giant. I thought that was so Han Solo.
Who's that person that doesn't like Lady Proxima?
They live a very sad life, Tori. Honestly, they live a very sad life.
Remember the silo, Kira.
We pulled you out, gave you a home.
Oh, thank you.
This is okay. Hold on. It is Lady Proxima Appreciation Hours here on the Bombadcast. There we go, Lady. Here we go. Okay,
I want her.
Here we go.
That whole thing. She's like, hello.
That's a rock. Like there's just man, so good. But there's just something. I don't. For me, there's something about how it is so otherworldly for us, but for them, they're just like, it's just another day at the office. And that to me is an appeal of it where that's why we get mad at stuff. I don't, because I'm like, that's just the way the world is there. That is their world. And I don't get pissed off about it. It's especially like people don't really like Jedi Rocks, but I'm like, that's Dave Matthews Band in Star
like
Wars.
Both. I don't care. Yeah, whatever.
I like both. Yeah, I'm the same way. So, Tori,
Yeah.
I told you we're going to become best friends. If only my internet connection would hold up.
So Tori, the weird part of Star Wars is something that I think you're also akin to and something you really enjoy in it. Anything in particular, it could be from any part of the story that like you just gravitate towards. Like anything, like New Gunry's been my most recent one, but what about you?
Oh, that's
Sorry.
My lord, is that legal?
Oh wow. I don't know. Oh God, that's like a really good question. I will say, generally speaking, it is creatures, which I've kind of already said. But I would say a lot of my reasoning is like Gerry's. I think something that's
Great
really
minds.
fast. Like I said before, I don't know the first time I watched Star Wars, so I've always just kind of accepted Star Wars as it is. That exists. That's the thing. That's how it works. So I think it's really fun to go back now that I'm older. I've seen quite a few times. It's fun to look back and look at these things and break them down and say, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And it makes perfect sense. And I don't question it watching the movie. Like, I don't feel weird about it. I don't feel like this doesn't make sense. It doesn't belong. Like, I think it's so interesting and that's why, like, I really like to look into, like, how they came up with concept for things, what inspired.
Yes.
Like, it's so interesting to see how people have made something that is so out there seem so grounded and so real. So
that's a beautiful point. That's eloquent. No, that was eloquent. That was so well said. No, it really is, because you don't know. Most people don't acknowledge it that way. Honestly, like it is life. That is life for these people. Yeah. So what was yours? What was your story? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I guess like recently, Sebulba. I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
That
Sebulba of hardcore. I love Sebulba. I think Sebulba's another really fun, just really interesting character design. I love his like head patterning. It's kind of like similar to how kind of like what Jar Jar has going on in a way.
Yeah.
Paint jobs on these things are just.
Yeah, look at that. Look at Gerry. Ooh, Gerry.
So
my God, what is that? I have the one.
This is the Barbie Sebulba. It's like the 12 inch.
I have the Aura Singh. Okay, I didn't realize that was a Sebulba.
This is the one where he is like, it's like the 6 inch, or not the 6 inch, it's like the bigger, like the 12 inch figures and stuff back in the day. Did you get the Sebulba's Hot Dogs shirt at Celebration?
Okay, so I have so many Star Wars t-shirts. It's redonk. And so I got that for my brother.
You could always use one more.
I got that for my brother. Listen. I got that for my brother.
Sorry.
I got myself the Windu City one because I love the location. I actually had one of the years that I went to Star Wars Celebration, they had Orlando, and it was Orlando, and Lando's foot.
That's so cool.
In Orlando. And so I did not get it, but I went to a thrift store in like Connecticut like 2 years later, and I found it.
Yeah.
No way.
So I was like, I have to have the other like location punch shirt, right? Like I have to, like, if they're gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna need to keep. So yeah, so I have the Windu City.
You had to have a set. Right.
Is a masterpiece. Like I love that.
I came this close to getting that one, but I did. I had to opt for my boy Sebulba because again, the Sebulba appreciation is strong here tonight.
Oh, it's as it should be. I mean, he's such a great villain.
Shout out real quick to my best friend, or not my best friend, but the guy who followed me around, who actually liked Star Wars 2 in high school. And I was reading Star Wars Insider, and we thought his name was Sebulba. And after we found out you pronounced it Sebulba, this is the Star Wars fan spirit. He still refused to call him Sebulba. He was like, I like Sebulba better. I'm like,
oh
all right, man, cool. That's whatever. Fine.
That is hilarious.
You can't blame him for sticking to it. He likes what he likes. That's good for him.
See, the weird part of Star Wars is something that I also cherish, and I think it's really important to bring up. In terms of like, there's one really weird niche thing that I've been obsessing over recently, and I don't know why. and maybe one of y'all can explain to me what's wrong with me.
I've been trying, Scotty. We've been doing this for over a year now. I've been trying.
I know. Hold on. I have to get it. So I have this Hondo Onaka figure, okay? And I think Tori would appreciate this. This is a great figure, right? Okay, I don't know if you're into collecting the figures, but this one's a good one, and it cost me a pretty penny. And I'm like, I know what I want to do with this, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. And it was so subtle, but it was I
like that.
On the Disney Plus, okay, this is where my Star Wars weirdness pretty much peaks. Jay Leno, okay, they had that special on Galaxy's Edge, and so I watched the whole thing, and there's one part that I kept rewinding and watching over and over again, and it's because Jay Leno says the name Hananaka really quickly, and there's something to that just is peak Star Wars weirdness that I will never be
having like a top tier talk show host say
back on it.
Yes, and like I want to find some way to send this to Jay Leno's home, and he just signs Jay Leno on this, and this will be. And I've got Mark Hamill. I've got.
It's gonna be like Jay. Hey, he's gonna sign it, and he's gonna have like a question mark. Like I don't know what the heck you're like. I don't know why you wanted me to do this. I don't play him right.
I just love that he said it because
it's what it means to you, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I have like, this is kind of a similar, not really 100% similar situation, but I, when it was here last time in Orlando at Celebration, it was right after Rogue One. Okay. I got a K2SO tattoo, and then I met Alan Tudyk like 2 days later, and I showed him, and he was like shocked. But other than that,
is amazing.
It was very cool. But I asked him. My first exposure to Alan Tudyk was A Knight's Tale.
Oh, yeah,
one of the best movies. And so I asked him, which I don't think that he was supposed to do this because they were kind of like they were really rushing people through that autograph line. They're like, "All right, get your name, like just say your name, and that's it." Blah blah.
If you ask a good question, though, I mean.
So he was like freaking out over the tattoo. And so I was like, I just want to say, like, love you so much, have followed your career. Like, I was going to ask you to put, it's called the Lance Hello on here from the line that he says in A Knight's Tale. But I was like, I know you can't, so it's no worries. But like, thank you. You're the best. And he was like, I don't care. I'll do it. And so I have a K2SO figure, but it has A Knight's Tale quote on it.
So cool.
That is so awesome.
You know, I mean, yes, some people are like, oh, the resale value or whatever, but I'm like, this is for me. I don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is for it's our enjoyment and stuff. Like me and Scotty like absolutely love weird George Lucas interactions. Like we've got a video online right now and stuff, and it's just like it's that little niche stuff that is just like it's not making fun of the man. It's like all this stuff that means so much to you. It's like it's just Scotty was joking about finding like some of what Rick McCallum's fingernail clippings the other day in our network chat for my doll or something.
If I could make a life-size Rick McCallum, I would.
Make a life-size Rick McCallum doll. But it's just those things are just. It's like no one else is like. I don't know who the heck you're talking about. Like you know,
it's a secret language.
The rest of us, yes, but it is like there is something that is beautiful about Jay Leno and other people. Like the only thing that would have made it better is if it was like David Letterman saying Hondo Onaka, because he would have been like Hondo Onaka, you know, and then like give me the heck out of here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's really I think it's good that people can embrace that weird part of Star Wars and also acknowledge the weird part. Like one of my new favorite things also is the way Bib Fortuna says Boba Fett's name in the end. He goes, "Boba, Boba."
That's amazing. Oh my god.
Chiwari Barnigo Banda. You want to come and Bindu, and then he gets shot.
Bib Fortuna.
Yes, so sick. Oh my god. Well, I hate to.
Speaking of Matthew Wood, by the way, we're gonna have to have him sign some Bib Fortuna figures at Celebration 2022.
Definitely, the case. Look,
beautiful,
Tori. This was a blast. Okay, I want you to have a chance to talk about your stuff real quick before we end this. But what do we got going on for Tori right now? Tori, I don't know if I can say it out loud, but I know you got some interesting stuff in the works. Okay,
I do. So, I mean, I do have my shop. Do you want me to talk about that now or after? I don't know.
Either one.
You can talk whatever you want to, girl. Go for it.
Oh, it's just me. Yeah, so I have my shop, Creature Cartel. It's on Etsy. I also have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter for it. It'll be at Creature Cartel or at Creature Cartel Shop. Like they were talking about, I have some things that are just kind of like more prop things, like a calamari flan, but I also do a lot of jewelry that's inspired by Star Wars design. I like to kind of look at a character and pick apart what makes them iconic visually, and that's kind of what I try to do in making subtle jewelry pieces. So yeah, check that out. And then my dear friend Alden, he is the host of Octo Radio. He's kind of trying to start up a little bit of a network there.
Special place in our hearts.
Yeah, he's great. And so I'm going to be doing my own show, which is crazy. I'm excited about it. It's probably going to end up being, none of this is official, but this is probably what's going to end up happening is just kind of like mini series about different topics, because that's kind of how I operate as a person. Like I'd like to just like heavily research something and do a couple episodes on it and then kind of move on. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And kind of the big thing that I'm wanting to hopefully start with would be like a Star Wars weekend series, just about it, reminiscing, appreciation, all that fun stuff. So
that's fantastic. Well, I don't know. I wish you the best, only because this is a fun thing to get involved in. But to have someone like Alden like kind of be like the pilot of the ship. He is such a wonderful guy, and he's been on our show, we've been on his show, and I think he's one of the best people to go and start that with, honestly. Yeah,
he's supportive and great, and he's kind of like well, I don't know. I was gonna say like Qui-Gon Jinn, but I am not Obi-Wan, so I don't know if I do that.
I get it. I'm just happy to have you on and to have you come and give your 2 cents on this information.
Thank you. It was so much fun. You guys are great.
Oh well.
Thank you. So you're too sweet. I might say like, no, sorry. Oh no. What if we just sat here like for an hour? Just go, no. Oh, you. Hondo. I would totally be. If I may say, Alden Diaz is one of the great Star Wars pontificators of our time, and so that's all I got to say about that. And I'm so happy that you guys are like you're working on something for him. Like, I didn't get to hear the full description because my internet again. Like, I've got.
If you would like,
sure, you can. If you, this is great for live stuff, but just repeat for me.
It's probably going to be just like a bunch of little small series about things, because that's kind of what I would be. That's what I would be, I think, most comfortable doing. Because I like things. I like presenting information, but I like to also like break things down like critically. So probably that kind of stuff. And then, I'm kind of hoping to do like a Star Wars Weekends thing is the first thing. That's kind of what started this whole thing off.
So good.
Ranting about Star Wars Weekends as I do probably like every other month or whatever, and being like, wow, like what if I talked about this? Like I just want to appreciate it, and I want people to know about it that don't know about it,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I only got to go to really like 1 or 2, and I wanted to go back so much. Like I wanted to go back every year, and it's just I lived in Northeast Arkansas. I was like, my parents were like, yeah, no kid, sorry, we got like bills to pay, go get a job. And I did, and it paid not enough to go every year. So.
Well, I think this has been a blast. And look,
yes,
Creature Cartel, great Etsy shop. Please go and spare some change for someone that's so special like Tori, and her content and her actual creations are really, really impressive.
Creations, it's all coming, man. It's all coming.
It is all there. So, real quick, just to kind of plug the final bit of our network stuff, I'm so glad you can join us for this live experience. Look, next week we got something fun for you. Look forward to that. Anyone in the live chat currently, and if you had the opportunity to, please share this with people on your social medias, and make sure you go follow at the Mandatorian. Oh no, yeah, that's it, Mandatorian, right?
At the Mandatorian, you are absolutely correct.
So,
but the L is a T.
There we go. That's amazing. So. Now, I will say this too, okay? If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel, okay? Share us, okay? Go to iTunes. Also, if you're listening to this, by all means, yes, there we go. So, with the K2SO
what she's doing.
Yes, exactly what she's doing.
Is that the K2SO tattoo? I'm sorry?
I think it is.
Oh,
let me get
I have our things here. Hold on, there you go.
Oh, sweet,
So I don't know how to move my body. I'm so sorry.
sweet lordy. Those are amazing. We're going to have like a tattoo episode or something. And just like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Sorry,
It's okay. Oh, real quick. While we're on Star Wars tattoos, there is Tori. I want your input on this. Okay, so there is kind of a thing where Nick, I've got it going. Nick Milky in the chat here is going to hold my hand at Star Wars Celebration, as I get what was it? It was there's the hey Nick. Oh, dude, so good. So. The deleted scene from Phantom Menace we've been talking about all the whole time, where Anakin is fighting Greedo.
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna get a tattoo at Celebration Anaheim. This is just kind of something that's in the BTB network. That is grown up Anakin, grown up Greedo in a fist fight.
I'm all for it. I mean, whatever.
I was just say, is that I would say okay. Greedo, there you go. Nick is like he's my support on this. So.
There. I mean, I've done the past 2 celebrations I've been to. I got these 2 at Celebration, so
That's amazing.
I planning on getting another one this year, but
Hey,
or last year.
We'll wait, and it'll be worth it. And to kind of close all this out, look, Tori, at the end of every episode, our guest does the wonderful honor of saying the phrase "Stay Bombad." Now, we want your own prayer to it. So, real quick, I think we have one more comment that I got to show on the screen. We've got Anthony's back, and he says, "Don't forget my new album, Now and Then, comes out March 5th." So, Tori, can you
it's not so. His new album's not Soul Station. I'm sorry, I'm confused. I just came back in. Sorry, I just went through the world between worlds in my internet connection.
So that's his band. And Tori, if you can, for the love of God, in this wonderful live stream with
For the love of God.
For the love of Bombad God and Jar Jar Generation.
For the love of sliced noodles.
Yes,
Sliced noodles.
Okay, wait. I got an idea.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Bring her down. I've got mine somewhere over here in this giant red tote.
But I don't she's all the way back there. I can't get up.
What?
I mean, I could, but anyway.
Why do that? Why get up though?
I have this. There you go.
Oh my gosh. That's gorgeous. Holy crap.
Say it one more time because Gerry was talking over.
Sorry about that. Okay, let me. Right. Okay. Stay Bombad.
All right, man. Stay Bombad. Peace.
Thursday. Every Thursday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Goodbye, everyone.
You shall all